All right, y'all. Unit 3, Lesson 8 homework. Let's get right into it. Question 1. Use the diagram to represent the expression 1/5 divided by 2. The good thing about this problem is it's kind of straightforward. You probably really don't even have to use any close reading strategies for this, but let's get right into it. This diagram, we are representing the expression 1/5 divided by 2. The first thing we need to do is represent the 1/5. You can't go into division without even representing what you got first. So we got 1/5 divided by 2. Guys, how do we represent our 1/5? First of all, we got to start there. Y'all should be thinking, well, we should probably separate our diagram here into fifths. So I'm going to do my best job that I can do with that. Let's see how even I can get these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want to have, of course, 5 different spots. And guys, slow down. What I've been noticing is a lot of times you guys get to just drawing lines. It's about drawing lines that are perfectly in line. Well, not perfectly, but as close as we can to get them in line with our diagram. So when we're talking about 1/5, don't just start drawing a bunch of lines. The lines need to show 1/5. I need to walk around and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm not seeing 5 different spaces in your diagram, you have not represented 1/5 properly. And your diagram is not going to get you the answer that you want to see. Okay? So we got our 1/5 represented. Let's go ahead and shade that in just to get it out the way. I'm just going to lightly shade it here. Now, let's think about what would we want to do if we're trying to divide this 1/5 by 2. Try and divide by 2. What do we usually do when we divide something by 2? If I was you, I'd probably try and split it in half, right? So let's take every one of our fifths, especially the one that's shaded, and go ahead and divide it by 2. I'm gonna use my red line right here and just separate it. Okay? I'm gonna do all of them, just because I think it'll make things a little easier, especially when we go to try and figure out what our answer is. So look, now we took our 1/5. We have our fifths 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now we split them into 2. All right. Now we can start thinking about what our answer looks like, because we got Okay, so we got 1/5, and let's look at our 1/5. What happened to it? Here's our 1/5 right here. What happened to it when you separated it in half? What happened was you split it in half, right? So I'm going to darkly shade the part that got split in half. Because if you think about it, that's going to represent our answer, okay? Because now, let's think about what we have now. We got our 1/5 that we separated into 2. So that 1/5 that got separated into 2 is this one piece. So this will be our 1. But let's see, how much of the whole does this represent? It's just 1 out of how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this happened because we split our fifths into 2, which made double the amount of sections. Now we got 10 sections, which makes our answer, I'm going to go ahead and put it up here, 1, which is our shaded one, real dark here, out of 10. All right? So that's our fraction, and that's our answer. And you should be able to explain how you got it and what your diagram represents. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to this next problem. Litzy has 1/4 quart of sugar. If she shares it equally between 3 friends and herself, how much will each person... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, my bad. Litzy has 1/4 quart of sugar. If she shares it equally between 3 friends and herself, how much will each person get? All right, what I want you guys to start doing, after you read it that first time, flip the page over and then just kind of give me a gist of what this problem is about. Like in this case, after you read it that one time, you should be able to tell me, like, you might not remember the numbers because you only read it once, but you should be able to tell me, like, I know it involves Litzy and sugar and her sharing it between some friends. And we're trying to figure out like how much each person's gonna get after you share the sugar. Okay, so visualize yourself in this problem. You are now Litzy. You have sugar. You want to separate it amongst yourself and 3 friends. So now you got the gist. Okay, now let's go about reading it again so we can identify the key information. All right. So let's read again. Litzy has a quarter quart of sugar. If she shares it equally between 3 friends and herself, how much will each person get? All right. So you should be identifying key information. A quarter quart of sugar. That is very important. Let's write that down. 3 friends and herself. Wow. Because at first when I read it, it was only 3 friends I thought about. But don't forget about herself. Don't forget about yourself. So now we're sharing it between not 3 people, but 4 people. All right. And we're sharing equally. Ding, ding, ding. That should be a key word that you recognize, especially by now. You should be talking about, wait a minute, sharing equally. We need to divide. Okay, yeah, that's what we've been talking about in class. So let's go about it. Now we're able to attack this problem. Okay, so 1/4 quart of sugar. How do we represent that? Let's go ahead and do that with our handy dandy shaded diagram. If we're trying to represent 1/4, how would we do that? Well, we need to have 4 different sections if we're going to do 1/4. Come on, y'all. Y'all know what's going on. Let's do it. So let's separate it into 4 different sections. I'm going to break it down in half. And like I said on the first problem, some of y'all just be going about just, okay, here go the rectangle. I'm going to just start drawing lines and just, no, slow down, focus. Okay, the biggest part is not about the draw line. The biggest part is about the sections that the lines are forming. Okay, so you need to know that drawing this line is making one section. 1, draw this line. There's my second section. Draw this line. There's my third section. Now I have 4 somewhat equal sections. So let's talk about it. We're sharing it equally between 4 people. I almost forgot. Let's shade in our 1/4 so we know what we're dealing with. So now we got our 1/4 represented, and we want to share it equally between 4 friends. How do we do that, Mr. Oliver? Shouldn't we? I'm literally envisioning y'all in class saying, ooh, we should probably separate that into 4 sections. So let's do it. And I like to do it. Y'all know how we've been doing in class. Let's go ahead and do it with opposing lines. Okay? So we want 4. So this line split it in half. This line made it to where now we got 1, 2, and draw 1 more line. Now we got 4 sections. We're ready to party. Okay? All right. So now let's look at what we did. We did our 1/4 represented like this. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We did our 1/4 represented like this, and then we divided it into 4. So let's look at what happened to our 1/4. What happened to our 1/4 when we divided it by 4? Well, it split our 1/4 into 4 sections. So our answer would just be this one section, because it took our 1/4 and split that up into 4. So now we're only worried about that one piece. How much is everybody getting? 1 piece of that 4th. Okay, so our answer would be represented here. And yeah, let's see what that is. 1 out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. So we got 1 out of 16. 1/16 would be what everybody's getting. Okay, 1/16 of that whole quart.